I always tell everybody before you make your note template or you figure out your plan, ask them what they think a good note is. That's your bar. Don't go above the bar because it's a waste of time. Set your bar. It doesn't need to be A plus work. If like passing for them is a D, you get that D. That sounds bad, but like
yeah, you get that D.
It's behavior, bitches.
Hey guys, it's Liat.
And Isabella?
And Isabella, and she sounds very unsure about her name today. And Isabella.
I feel nervous.
You feel nervous?
Yeah.
Guys, oh my God. Okay, so I have Isabella here with me today, and I decided I just want to bring in some of my other behavior bitches into the pod stew with me. Julia, who works with us, calls it the stew. Anyways, welcome back to today's episode. We also have a guest that Isabella told me about that I have to have on the show. So this is how it all happened. And so Isabella's like, and I'm also coming on that show with you. This is kind of how it seems to be happening lately. My sister like read a book and she's like, oh my God, you have to have this girl on your podcast. And then when you get her on so that I could talk to her too, I have to come on with you. So we're kind of like able to support everyone who's fangirling someone else and bring them on. So I'm so happy to do that. And with that, I'm going to start off with some positive reinforcement for the day. Let's see what people are saying about this podcast. This is what keeps me going. So this one's coming in hot. And it actually looks like it's on Spotify. So in case that's the reason you haven't left a review because you didn't know you could leave one on Spotify, you can. So head on over to Spotify and leave a 5-star review so I have something to read. It's from Ashley McCole. I absolutely love this podcast. It's definitely my go-to. I've been listening to you all for the last 5 years since I began working as an RBT. I'm now finally studying for the BCBA exam and find your podcast and study materials the most helpful and easiest to understand. Thank you for making applied behavior analysis so engaging and fun. Please continue putting out the podcast. They are keeping me going. Love you. Mean it. Thank you so much for that, Ashley. Isn't that sweet?
It was so sweet.
No, it's so nice getting these. It's literally what keeps me going, these reviews. And Martha puts them in and I'm surprised. So I genuinely, it's like, cool, I'm doing something. You feel like you're like talking to a screen. So it's nice. Anyways. Again, thank you for that review. Everyone go leave one. I'm going to introduce our guest today. And I'm excited to do this. And I think this episode is going to be very helpful for BCBAs, whether you have been a BCBA for a while. But I think it's going to be especially helpful if you're a new BCBA. Maybe you studied with us and now you're on the other side. And I get a lot of these messages like, I wish I was still studying because I'm so overwhelmed now as a BCBA. So this is for you. I feel like the emails I get, I'm going to guide people to this episode. I'm already planning in advance. So our guest today is Megan Richardson. She is a BCBA who discovered she could trick herself into loving work more if it was bundled in cute aesthetic colors. Oh my God, I did the same with studying. Amazing. As a founder of the Organized Analyst, Megan helps behavior analysts cut down on stress, reclaim their time, and find balance in their demanding roles. We're talking color-coded systems being the cherry on top, of course. So I'm sure she would love our tabs that we have on our Cooper books. While her unique background in recreation therapy and applied behavior analysis, Megan brings a refreshing perspective to the field. She somehow managed to get over 1,000 BCBAs in one room without a single reinforcement schedule breakdown and helped analysts worldwide streamline their practices so they could crush it professionally while still having a life. Whoa, imagine that. That is profound. They're actually excited to return to at the end of the day. The Organized Analyst was born when Megan realized her organizing systems weren't typical for most BCBAs who were struggling with behind-the-scenes tasks no one taught them to manage. This is so true. Wow. You could follow her on Instagram at The Organized Analyst, where she opens honest dialogue about BCBA challenges while inspiring others to transform their skills into thriving businesses, just as she did and wants to help you do too. Welcome to the show, Megan.
thank you so much for having me and getting to chat with you, Liat, and connect with you again, Isabella.
Yay.
How did you guys connect? Can you remind me?
Yeah, so I had a training with her and it was so good. Before the training I was already following her on Instagram and I love everything she posts. Everything. All the resources. I think I bought a couple products from her. Again, the training was so good. I actually spoke to my BCBA friends about the training. And they were all super excited about her content. So we all love her.
Amazing.
We are fans.
When Isabella's a fan, she will bring everyone over. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like she's
I'm
the best.
loyal.
She is loyal. Like a golden retriever, like her golden retriever.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, you have to talk to my friend. Do you know who Liat is? And I was like, well, yeah, of course I know who Liat is. I didn't know you guys were friends.
No, yes, she's a loyal puppy. She's amazing. She's the best. All right. Before we get into anything, I want to do some pairing and figure out and have a little bit of fun. So Isabella, we're going to do this together. You're going to help me lead this fun segment.
Okay.
All right. I'll start first.
Okay.
All right. Megan, this is for you.
Okay.
What's the most unhinged thing you've done in the name of organization?
This is this is like a personal thing I've done, and you're probably gonna think it's overly crazy. So I'm like just about 30 weeks pregnant.
Wow.
And
Oh
at the,
my God.
yeah, at the time
Exciting.
that we're filming this, and I was like, we have way too much to do between like work, business, baby, and like home life. So I made my husband like a spreadsheet checklist of all the house projects and everything we had to do between like 15 weeks and like due date, because we have like 14 house projects we're simultaneously doing while trying to get a baby room done. And I was like, this is a task that we're going to do together because they're too physical for me. Here's what I'm going to work on when you're not there. And we have it sitting on our fridge and we highlight it off every week of all the stuff that we need to get done.
That's amazing. Wow. I mean, being like an organization freak and being pregnant and like nesting, that's like next level. Like even like myself, who I don't consider myself that organized, like during that time, I'm like, oh, I gotta get this done. Like you just like feel this like need. It's like kind of crazy.
It's a
Yeah,
whole new
the
world.
pressure gets
right?
worse every week.
I feel like you're kind of organized too.
I am very organized.
Yeah. What's the most unhinged thing you've done?
About organization?
Yeah, like what's something like pretty crazy you've done?
The most. I feel like I try to apply organization strategies in all the areas of my life, but I have this like.
But
I
you're
have
always
this-
late.
I always what?
You're always late.
I'm always late. This is something I cannot fix.
Is that
I
Brazilian?
couldn't fix. It is.
Is that mentalistic?
Yeah.
Mentalistic
Actually, if they
thinking.
invite you for a party at 3 and you get there at 3,
You're a
there's
loser.
nobody there. Not even
Even the host?
Even the host.
So these are like cultural things to keep in mind.
Yeah,
If
sorry.
you're working with a Brazilian family, make sure you don't show up on time. That's nerdy, right?
That's nerdy. And you will be the only one there. So, anyway, back to the organization. I am on top of my, this is an ongoing thing, on my supermarket list. And I have a shared folder in my phone. And I don't know, I
Like, do you keep
really worry about it.
So you do?
I do.
No, I do think that's like a mom thing. And Megan, is this your first?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you have to look forward to is you're going to have to add to your organization like a supply chain branch of your organization. Like you're like, where are we on diapers? Okay, where are we on this? Oh, you're going to be at Costco on this day? Amazing. Okay, diapers over here. Okay, the formula is running low. And by the way, they're having a deal over here. Like you are consistently running supply chain. And I don't know what your husband is like, but I'm just letting you know either way, guys could never supply chain the way a woman's head can. Like a woman could be in work and doing these and that and that and that. And somehow they think that diapers just like literally fall from the sky. Would you agree? That's like so on the mom. So just like add that to your
Organization system.
your Q2 2025,
Yeah.
Q3.
I'll put it on the list.
Great. My next question. Actually, I have this for both of you guys because you guys are both working clinically. If you could force every BCBA to adopt one habit starting tomorrow, what would it be?
Oh my gosh.
For me,
this is such a good
it's-
question.
Oh, you have yours?
On top of my head,
Okay, let's hear it.
do not take work home.
That's a good one.
How do you do that?
Being very organized, getting your notes done.
You don't take it home?
Well,
I mean,
try.
you work from home.
Well, but I try not to. And when you work from home, it's super tricky. If you don't take care of yourself, you are working all day long from the moment you wake up to the moment you go sleep. So I try to be organized with my notes, with my treatment plans. Also because I have a kid who needs me, and there are other things outside of ABA who makes me happy, and I want time. So for my first year as a BCBA, it was so draining, and I was not finding time for nothing, not even talk to my friends. And I remember one day we were
You
talking.
told me, you were like, I don't think I like
Yeah,
this.
you said, I think you should like have time off, slack a little bit, have a day on the week that you know, do something you like.
Like, put your
So-
phone down during the podcast. Isabella
it's down.
we couldn't even use her phone to record the episode because she's like, what if someone needs me?
Yeah, mommy thing.
Oh,
But anyway, try to not take work home at least one day a week. Let's be realistic, or two, or weekends, or 1 week in a month.
No,
or
I mean,
two.
totally. All right, Megan, what do you
no,
have?
that's so good. I feel like going off of that would either be having like a wrap up routine. I tell every single BCBA I ever work with to have one so that they can like think about what they're going to do either the next day or the next week so that, like Isabella said, they aren't taking work home, but you don't also have to like think about it 24/7 because I was that same way when I was new. It always lived rent free in my head, like what my to-do list was, what was going on. So I would say having some sort of wrap up routine or making yourself wait 10 seconds before you do anything. Like make a decision, answer that text message, like go support or whatever, because I find when I was really new, at least, I was constantly questioning, like, am I doing this because I think it's the right thing to do? Am I doing this because I think I want my supervisor to be proud of me or it's going to make them feel a certain way? And there's so many things I said yes to that weren't like things I actually wanted to do or that were going to help me in my career. They were just like expectations, and I was like being a BCBA for everybody else but myself.
I love
Wow.
that.
That 10-second thing is so not in my repertoire.
Well, but it's so good.
No,
and
it's amazing. Like everything I do, and I feel like Martha, I don't see her behind me, like Martha assists me with everything here. I don't let something sit in my head for, I don't even think 2 seconds. It's like automatically dumped somewhere, like, okay, we got to do this. So I think Martha has learned, right? Like you don't necessarily have to do the task when I ask because it's going to change.
It all goes on my list, and I recategorize like 5 times a day, like what's priority.
Like, no, because I'm telling you, I'm like so impulsive. I know it. But I have a fear of like forgetting things.
I think like as a BCBA, the 10 seconds help a lot. We feel the urge of answering and having the answer, and that's not good. Sometimes we don't have the answer, and it's totally fine. Or maybe to take the time to really think, hey, should we take this approach or this other approach? At least couple seconds. You don't have to have the answer right away. My RBTs, they are usually to ask me a question, and I'm quiet. And I always say when they're new, I tell them, hey, I know you asked me a question. I'm going to answer you. I'm quiet because I'm thinking, okay? They're like, oh, okay. So it's not awkward anymore.
My
but-
latency is taking a second because
Yesterday this
pressing.
happened. I even told the RBT, hey, I understand your question, but if we do this way, then I feel we're gonna be forcing compliance, and I don't want to go this route. But if we do this other way, I think we're reinforcing problem behavior. So let me think on something here, okay? Wait.
you could slow. It's amazing. I feel like my brain literally can't slow down like that. It's amazing. I really need to work on that. Trello or Google Sheets?
I don't even like use Trello. I've never used Trello.
Okay,
Like,
so
what is Trello?
I don't know what it's
Tell me.
Trello.
losers. No, okay. Trello is like where you could like make these boards of like tasks and like move them over. We actually used it like briefly with one of like the website developers. Actually, I was impressed Martha put that in there. What other organization software do you guys use for different things?
I use Notion. Notion all the way.
I tried Notion because of you, but it's too much for me.
It can be overwhelming.
I'm not that
'cause
tech
it's
savvy.
like it can be like it's like blank planner organizer, and you can build it however you want. So it's cool in that aspect. But when you're staring at a blank screen, it's like overwhelming. But I hate Google Sheets. Like I hate a spreadsheet.
Wait,
So anything
I
that can
also
make a
when
visual.
people like make me spreadsheets for things, I'm so overwhelmed. Like,
I love
It's
them.
sad.
wait, okay, so is Notion like similar to Monday? Is it
I
like
don't know what Monday
productivity
is.
software?
Yeah, it's kind of like reminds me of, do you remember like bullet journals when those were all the rage?
Yeah.
It reminds me of like a bullet journal version of like ClickUp or like Asana.
Oh, okay. I love
So
that.
it's more visual. Yeah, it's more visual than they are, but it's got like you can make a lot of the same capabilities into it.
Martha, I think you should switch us all over from Monday to
Oh
I'm
my
kidding.
goodness.
I'll look into
I'm
it.
kidding. I'm kidding. Martha's literally just spent the last like 6 months building out these Monday boards.
No, but we
You
could do
should
it.
scratch it out.
No. Wait, that's amazing.
We
Okay.
survive.
This is a big one.
Oh, I'm looking forward for her answer.
For the
For
next
a
one,
reason. Mm-hmm.
paper planner or digital?
Both. I can't do one or the other. I have to do both, which is like the craziest thing. I was just talking to a client about this the other day. I like digital and that everything's always in the same spot and I can pull it up anywhere I go. But the physical act of writing and crossing something off does not like hit digitally. I don't like that feeling. So I do my like overview digitally and then my daily tasks are always paper.
Wait, but like if you're planning like, oh, I'm going to be on the podcast on this date, will that go in your digital calendar?
Hmm.
Would you not write that in your paper
No,
planner?
so I like depending on depending on the week. So like I have my paper planner and I like live out of my Google Calendar because it's all color coordinated and every like subtopic has its own calendar with a different color or I get lost. So I'll like write out my list of everything I have to like do for the week and they're also color coordinated to match my Google Calendar because I'm very like that. And I'll sometimes do an overview of like tasks for the week, but I don't do like a daily like today at this time I'm doing this because I look through my calendar like a million times a day. So I'll write like a weekly on one side and then I'll have my daily on the other. But I really only do the daily on paper. Everything else I try
That
to
makes
throw
sense. Like I love
digitally.
a list and crossing it off. It's not equal.
It's the best feeling in the
I
world.
mean, Asana used to have this little feature. We used it for a while, and it's like a unicorn would like fly across if you had the app. I don't know if you remember. It like, psh, and it was like kind of reinforcing. But paper, like seeing the permanent products of your list after, I also like get connected to them and don't want to throw them away, which is another hoarding issue I have. Of like,
It's just satisfying.
yeah, right.
And we're crafty girls. We like the pens and
So I love a paper planner any day. However, it was becoming an issue within a company that like only I would know what's on it.
oh,
You know,
Oh,
and then
because
I'm
nobody
like, oh,
else
I'm
can
going to
see
tell everyone
it.
about it, and then I get distracted. So I don't get me wrong, I still like buy a planner every year at like Marshalls or TJ Maxx or like Erin
You
Condren,
just
whatever
can't
one
beat
is like
it.
promoting at
Yeah.
the time. But like it's like I end up quitting 1 month in.
I was
That's
looking.
why I like the dailies.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I like the dailies because there's no commitment to it. It's just like when you want to do it, you do it. When you don't want to do it, you don't have to. It doesn't feel as like guilty if I don't do
Yes,
it.
exactly.
I got mine because of her. I got the same one she showed.
The list.
The planner.
Oh,
That's
the
what I was
planner.
looking.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
messaged me about it.
yeah.
Oh my God, I want to know what it is.
I love this because I had one like this before. You don't have the dates, so you can do it whenever you feel like doing. Because there are weeks I don't even have time to write down things. And I
Right.
don't like to leave blank pages.
No, I agree. That's so stressful. I agree. No, I love that. Just wondering, when did you take your BCBA exam?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
2019.
2019. Did you highlight in your Cooper book?
No, I don't like highlighting in a book.
Yeah, I was like
But
either you have like some weird like OCD
I
type
I like
things, or your like thing you
yeah.
were like, oh, okay, if it has to do with an intervention, it's gonna be code like green.
Yeah, I definitely did that though when I did like highlight in it. I because your guys' tabs and stuff weren't like a
I
huge
know
thing
that
then.
would like you would have had
And that
those.
made I oh 100%. I saw them and I was like, I feel like I could still buy this.
No,
And I
I
was like,
think we need
Megan,
to
you're
send her a pair.
crazy.
Martha, let's we need to send you a pack. Wait,
I
but do you have
would.
a third
I don't
edition Cooper
like,
book or your second edition?
I think I still have the second edition. I have the old book.
Oh well, this is awkward. You did an update. How are you supervising? I'm just kidding. You
I
don't
don't
read
supervise students
non-equivalence
though.
relations in your free time?
Cooper is not on my bookshelf with all my fun books. It's on my like,
Like
it's
shoot
way at the
me,
Top
top of
shelf.
my
shoot me.
off top shelf of my office. If I'm like, oh, if I gotta pull it out, I'm more likely to like Google it and be
Right.
like, go like the digital one. But I don't like highlighting in a books because I'll overdo it and then everything will be highlighted and I'll be like, I can't find anything. So I would sticky note, or I love the ones where they're like kind of clear highlighters or sticky notes where you can put it over top and then you don't have to like write in your book. But I would
Yes,
color
but
code them if I did
sometimes you
it.
can't write on those well. Like certain pens don't
They
write on
aren't a
that.
good
Or
texture.
they
Yeah,
Yeah, I
stain.
don't like
They
that.
stain.
like the clear ones.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, but her Cooper book is on top of the shelf because she doesn't have the tabs and she doesn't have the cover. Because if she had it,
I
you wouldn't be
know.
on top. You would be a decoration thing or
No, I would probably
crazy.
look at it more
Yeah.
often.
You know what? I think we're going to gift her with something even better than this. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Martha?
Yep.
We're going to send her a brand new 3rd edition Cooper book. We're going to send that to you, and we're going to send it to you with the book cover that comes with it. And then we're going to send you the tabs. And we're going to send you the Bible highlighters that you could color code your book and not worry about it bleeding through. So after the show,
That's
make sure you send
exciting.
us your address and tag us.
I will. Yes, you can't go wrong with all
We're
the
going
fun
to send you a
things.
book. Like, listen, one time there was like some deal on Cooper books, like crazy deal, like through like Walmart. It was like so random. And I was like, we need to buy like 15. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but like to see them this, like, if I could like give these people different things, I'm going to do it. Like, I was just like, this is my space. Isabella, why don't you model that? We have a Brazilian model here all the way to show you the book
Cooper
with
book.
cover. Amazing.
You
It
can't.
says everything I need to pass the fucking test is in this book. The side over here says Cooper book in case you're confused on your shelf.
Look, this part I love.
The back is also special to mine. It says my name. Yours won't say Liat. And the side has these tabs.
Sorry. Let me show how it looks beautiful here.
I don't want her to like freak out that they got bent. That's because it was in my backpack the wrong way. But anyways, the tabs are a little bent, but how beautiful is it? Right.
You
And this
can't.
part.
Ugh, it's perfect.
Oh, it's amazing. It's like literally a game changer.
And the bookmark.
And the bookmark, Pavlov bookmark. Yes. Amazing. Now we both have a copy of Cooper for this episode. That's perfect. I have one here.
Yeah. Makes me feel calmer.
You do? You feel confident? Okay, amazing. Those are all the questions. There's the last question here, but it's like not even, it's like dumb. It's like we already know her answer. She says color coded folders or controlled chaos.
Oh, she already answered.
Yeah,
She's
it's
a
like-
color coded girl.
Yeah, like, okay. Now we're actually going to get into some questions about how you got into what you're doing and what you are actually doing. I want you to explain that to everyone. And like, what was your MO to do this? So why don't you start, just take us back a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So it's probably 4 years ago. I started in home when I like first passed the exam and was like slowly getting my footing with like a smaller company of like learning procedures, learning all the different ways that they maneuvered. And then I moved over to a clinic not long after that. And it was just like chaos all the time, I feel like. And I was like, okay, I need to wrap my brain around this. And the only way I know how, which is like making a plan for everything and like having something to follow. Because I felt like I was just flying by the seat of my pants, or like we'd get information and it wouldn't go anywhere. And I was like, I can't. This is taking me too much time. It's super annoying and I don't like it. So I was making all these little organizers for myself because I'm like a creative at heart. So I would like pull up Canva and make like little visuals for myself or for my staff. And it kind of just grew from there of like all the little things I was doing, my staff were like obsessed with. And they're like, oh my God, this is so cute. I've been wanting to be on one of your cases because I wanted one of these client binders or like whatever it was. And then I think I shared a post on like a Facebook group of like an organizer I had, and people blew up. They were like, I need that. And I was like, this is such a small thing. And I didn't realize that so many BCBAs just struggled with like the very minute, like the littlest detail of stuff. And I would like talk to them and I was like, oh my gosh, how are you functioning? And they're like, I'm not functioning. I'm just like showing up every day and like drowning. And it kind of just grew from there to like organizers to I built out the digital planners because I was already using mine. So I just like beefed it up with other things that I thought other BCBAs would like. If I was like, if somebody gave me this when I started, my life would have been astronomically different and so much easier. And then it grew to like coaching and mentorship. I had BCBAs who were like, I need like one-on-one help with this. And now I have like group programs. I do CEUs and workshops, and it's just kind of naturally evolved when I was like, wow, people really need help, and their companies or their bosses also don't know how to do this. So like they'd go to people for support and they'd be like, I don't really know how to do that either. And like it just kind of grew, and I was like, okay, cool, I can help because this is like my jam. If I can talk to you about how to organize your papers or like your folders,
I mean,
I love that.
that's amazing.
Now I want to see the client's binders. You have to show us a picture.
I think I have it on my Instagram. I don't have any now because I have a couple kids I work with now are like in home part time. So like they're at their houses, but
Maybe you
it was
post
my
it
jam when I
today.
worked clinic.
Yeah, maybe you
I'll
repost it today.
reshare it.
Yeah, I want to see
Yeah,
it.
I want to see it too. Like,
I'll reshare it and I'll tag
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
imagine RBTs, they talk to each other. The other day, one RBT said, "Oh, I saw your other RBT working with this cool cool app with the other client." I was like, "Oh, do you want it too?" She was like, "Yeah, it was so cool. They were using boom cards and it was so fun. I want to do the same." So I see them like, "Oh, I want to work with her. I want to carry this binder."
totally. No, it's like such a game changer. So, who are your primary clients?
So for my business, it's usually BCBAs. So it initially, like when I very first started, my goal was like brand new BCBAs to like catch them, which is such a hard transition, like you guys know, doing like test prep, trying to catch them from don't stress out about it when you're test prepping, because like just do that because that's a lot. So like pass the test, but like catch them before they started their first job, because that first job it's like a beast in and of itself. And then I realized as I was like marketing and talking to those people, there's a disconnect because the brand new BCBAs hadn't walked the walk yet. So they didn't know how bad, for lack of a better word, it could really be. And then all these BCBAs started to reach out to me that were like, I've been doing this for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and I'm still really bad at this like back end side of things. And I was just like, oh, I guess I didn't think about that. If no one helps them when they're at the beginning, then this just stays a problem. And you just kind of live through it forever until you figure out like a better way around it. So most of the BCBAs I work with now have been doing this for like a couple years and are just trying to like really get to the nitty gritty because they're at the end of their rope of like, I've been struggling for a long time doing this and I can't do it. I also need to live and be a human where like I feel like brand new BCBAs are more willing to kind of throw themselves into the fire, where like the longer you've done it, you're like, no, that's crazy.
I mean, I think
I'm not doing that.
right, if we intervene antecedently, I mean, there are so many people who reach out to me and are like, all I wanted to do was pass this test.
Mm-hmm.
And now I wish I was studying because like I knew what I was supposed to be doing. I like knew exactly, okay, I need to go over this section. I need to do this. Like I'll tell
It's a
you
plan.
and I mean, not only that, it's like a really cyclical problem because, right? So when I passed my test, I got a job and I'm like, I mean, I had multiple job offers being a BCBA. This doesn't make me special,
Yeah.
just part of being a BCBA. So anyone listening, realize you are really valuable as a BCBA. They need you. But I took a job that it seemed so cool to me. It was like, yeah, like we're putting this clinic together. Like you could be super involved in it. You'll be like, you know, I'm like, oh my God, I get to pick out the reinforcers on their budget. I get to do this. I get to like choose like our organization system, this and that. But like, then they started like scaffolding in clients. And I'm like, the fuck? I'm good at like picking the toys and shit. But like now, like you, what? Right? Like I'm like time management is a skill. Okay. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, cool. You got me one client. I've got this. Then they start adding in another one. I'm like, how the F am I supposed to see more than one client? Like, I am a company's nightmare in terms of billing. It's like, we are not profiting off of her. Because also, like, I'd be like, feel sad. So I'd be like, oh my God, the mom was still talking to me. So I'm going to stay over in the session. I stay an extra hour and a half talking to her about like her shoes and like that she's collecting or like her sewing hobby. And so, like, these are skills that they don't teach you, like, at all. Like, the time management, how you're going to get your billables in, and how not to take it home. And not to mention, like, so like a job like that, it seems amazing. Like, wow, I get so much like autonomy, whatever it is. But I had zero training. And coming out of that, like, I mean, if you just look at how the system is built in ABA, it's like, look, when you're an RBT, we need you billing direct hours. That's what it is. Like, as a business, it doesn't make sense to be taking so much time when them doing like, admin stuff, this and that. However, on a quality level, it is so important that you're training that person to be a BCBA later. Also, by the way, companies, if you're listening and you're having a hard time hiring, realize it is in your best interest to put time and interest into getting your RBTs trained on doing these BCBA skills, because I, for one, had zero idea. Like, I was texting Jordan every day being like, do we have a sheet for this? Like, what did you do for this? Like, I had no one there. I was essentially a clinical director with like, and I think I'm pretty quick at like improvising things. I like had no idea. It was really stressful.
This switch hit me really hard, and I think that's why I was so amazed by Megan and the resources, because I was being very honest, I was an amazing RBT. I knew everything about my clients. Oh, she's blinking. She wants to poop. Oh, she's like making this movement. She's gonna hit. I knew everything about her, everything she liked, everything. But then suddenly I'm a BCBA faster than I even thought I could be.
Oh, you
And
said you
now-
wanted to go back to being an RBT.
I told you that
You
because
were
I
like,
was
I think I'm gonna go back to-
happier. I had time to give it all
Mhm.
to one, and I knew everything about her, and it made me so happy. But now I have like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. At some point, 19 clients in my caseload. Imagine that. So how can I get to know them and their families and make sure they're making progress, make sure I'm showing up? Oh, and guess what? My RBTs, they need me, right? Supervision is so hard. You need to be there. You need to support them. You need to teach them. You need to mentor them. It was like wild, big switch, and her stuff helped a lot.
It's scary.
It's behavior, bitches.
Hey besties, big news. We're partnering with the legendary Ruby Tuesday. All of our listeners can snag all you can eat salad bar at Ruby Tuesday for $8.99. Yes, that's an unlimited salad bar, and they have amazing toppings. Take it from me. I'm a salad bar snob. Bring your little ones, your work crew, your study buddies, or your family that you feel like you've neglected while you've been studying and not providing anything healthy. This is your opportunity. All you have to do is head on to your local Ruby Tuesday and mention SNABA8 to your waiter. They'll hook it up with the salad bar. Plus, we're giving away a $100 gift card to Ruby Tuesday. Head on over to Instagram at Behavior Bitches Podcast to enter to be a lucky winner. And hurry up, this tasty deal ends August 31st. Again, just mention code SNABA8 and you will be eating healthy and enjoying the best salad bar of your life. Love you, mean it. This kind of brings me to like, I know that like, I'm sure some people are like sitting here right now listening and are like when I worked as a special ed teacher in this one school, their thing was like, if you feel like you connect to something, like do this. Like, so if a teacher's saying something and you're like, I like ice cream, and the kids like ice cream, they'd be like, it was like a way of being like, me too, my aunt likes it, my nanny's sister likes it, it was like, just do this, okay guys? But anyways, I feel like people watching this right now are doing that in their car, like nodding, like yes. So I'm gonna ask the questions that I think a lot of people would want, and Isabella, if you think of any also along the way that you're like, this is what I would have wanted answered, let's do it right now. So let's say you're a BCBA, you're drowning in paperwork. You liked working with the kids. It was fun being the person, creative, like doing the different activities. But now there's paperwork that is due to insurance or different things like that. Where should they start?
I think you need to look at what type of paperwork's coming in and like how often. So that's, I think, one of the hardest parts about being a BCBA is like nothing has a deadline unless it's like a treatment plan or something. There's so much that's like just on you to figure out when to have it done. So I always start there with like, if it has a deadline, it goes on your calendar or it goes somewhere where you know to like keep up with it first. Because like if you've got 4 reports due in 2 months and they're all going to hit at the same time, you have to have a plan for that, or you're going to be like, I feel like it's happened to all of us and it happens to people all the time. You're up till 2 a.m. pretending like you're not writing your report because you don't want your boss to know you're up till 2 a.m. writing your report the night before it's due. Um, so like having a plan for how you're going to tackle all those like reoccurring things, and then from there looking at like, okay, what else do I have to do? Like what's even on my plate? Because a lot of times you don't really know. You're just like, oh, I have these tasks, but there's no like checklist of what they are. Sometimes your company has one where they're like, hey, we expect you to weekly fill out this form or monthly do this thing, but there's not always like a place that's like, here's all the expectations of you. So like make that list yourself of like, what's everything I have to get done? How often do I have to do it? And like, is there a way to use a task analysis to like break down what goes into all those steps and then give them each like a legitimate due date?
I should be taking notes on it.
No, you
You
can.
know?
You could listen back. You could listen back. No, yeah, it's
Create an everything log. Like parent training here, supervision here. Oh, this form I have to fill out every month. Oh, every week.
yeah, all those things. I mean, it just gets so overwhelming.
It's a lot.
And not knowing how many you have makes it worse. Because then you're like, did I forget something? And then it eats at your brain. And then you're just stressed all the time.
Like I remember to the point that I didn't know how to make an Excel graph. Okay, I know like people use software now. And by the way, the company I was working at definitely could have got the software. It was like, I don't know if it was like a cheap out move or like what it was. Like, so now I'm at this job. I'm already like overwhelmed like with these clients. I hadn't done it. Also, like because of my health, like my hours took like, I was not like regularly like in a clinic around the different things. Like I'd like be in home. Like, you know, they were just like trying to maximize me on direct hours. And I'm like, I don't even know how to make a graph. So like, hear me out. One of my RBTs, like her program was more like graphing research based, like whatever. I'd be like, I'm overwhelmed with all this paperwork. They're like, you got to make these graphs in Excel. Like, I don't know how to make a phase change line in Excel. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. So I'd be like, hey, Molly, like she went to like Texas Tech where it's more like a research based ABA program or whatever. I was like, I'll pay you $20 if you make random name. Don't worry, HIPAA, everyone. If you make Bobby's graph on this that we took data on. And then like I'd review it because like I literally had to like delegate. I didn't know how to do these things. Like no one taught me. And then when it come to like a Vineland, we had to score them ourselves. Like doing like
Oh, that was the worst.
like, and I'm like, so I'd also like literally my entire salary would have to go to like delegating things to RBTs that like I didn't know how to do because like they worked at this company before. A lot of places will get the software to do it for you. Like you input the data. Like I'm like, I did not sign up for like stat. So, and it's like on top of that, it's like that's just slowing you down as well. You know, like you have this paperwork and then you have these things and it's like really overwhelming.
Adding on top of everything else. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that just like, I just remember like taking me so long. Like I'd write like, I'm going to get this done this day, this done. And I just could never do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so, I don't know for you guys, for me, it's so aversive. You know, it's the opposite. It's very reinforcing to get things done. For me, at least, you know?
Negative reinforcement. Get those aversives off your list. I want to ask you guys, what do you think is the biggest time management mistake BCBAs make? Or that you make yourself?
I made them all. It's hard for me to pick one.
I have a very unpopular opinion, I feel like, on this one. Because I've had people like literally come after me for saying it, but it is what it is. I feel like it's being too available. That you're constantly, and this is, I feel like, a cultural thing we're taught to do. And I don't really know exactly where it comes from, if it's like an ABA thing or if it's just like the type of people who go into helping professions. We're like taught to be everything for everybody else. So we almost like sometimes can teach a learned helplessness into like our staff, our families, and our clients because we're like, oh, to be good, I have to be always available. So as soon as somebody has a question or something happens, we drop everything else and go help them immediately. But usually what ends up happening is they don't learn how to solve problems for themselves or like have a flow of like how to try things out. And then we get all those back end tasks or those things that we were working on in the moment, they just pile up. And then you keep doing that over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then your whatever plan you might have had has now gone out the window because you haven't figured out how to deal with interruptions.
I know you said this.
Bullets fired.
Well, I know you said this could be controversial, but I'm sorry. I'm with you. If I can call one name right now, it's Sophia, friend. I tell you this every day. Being too available, it's not good.
What are you talking about, Isabella? Pot calling the kettle black. Excuse me. Literally for this episode, I'm like, okay, hey, could we like use your video to record like on the one thing? She's like, I can. Like, what if a client needs me? Which is amazing. I'm not saying that. It's just like I'm like,
Not in this sense. Being too available, I think she says like,
no, I hear it. Like some parents, for example, like, and I used to answer. I'd be like, hey, Tommy's having a tantrum right now, right? And it's like, okay, Tommy's 3. Tommy might have tantrums sometimes. And like, if Tommy's not at risk, you know, of like whatever it is, like, I don't need to be answering this on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, but I also in this sense like, I think it's a combination of things that makes this being too available a problem. Like I am a giver, you are a giver. Most of my friends, they are givers. We give time, we give attention, we give gifts, and then combine this with a very needy family. This is the perfect formula for the fact of you being too available will become a big issue. You know what I mean? You need time for you. You need time for your BTs. You need time to do paperwork. You need time for your notes. So you are too available for one thing, for
Maybe
two
to say
things for
hi to
other
your own
parents.
personal kid.
Yeah, to
husband.
take a deep breath. Yeah, it's not good. So I think this is a common mistake. And if you are a giver, it's so reinforcing. Oh, I'm here. I'm giving attention to the person. I'm here available. It's a mix of things. And when you have a caseload, it is really bad.
The
Really, really
dopamine
bad.
hit of being there for everybody else and like the reinforcement that you get if you're this type of person of feeling needed and helping is so dangerous. It's like an addiction of if you do this and you help them out in the moment, you get that little hit and you do it again and again and again. But then on the flip side, you've got people in the field. Like I've had people tell me I'm a horrible BCBA because I redirect my staff or don't answer their question as soon as they ask it. And I'm like, girlfriend, if you have to stop what you're doing and answer every single question your staff is giving you in the moment, you haven't taught them well enough to figure out their way through the question.
It's so true. And you know, like what you're saying, like I think about it. Like sometimes people get in and it's like even for test prep, right? I'm getting them in and it's like, you know, I'm having trouble with the content, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, actually, I think the bigger problem could be is like, you don't know how to study. Like I also didn't until I
Yeah.
like came up with this method of how I was doing it, right? Like that's a skill that you may not have. Same with BCBAs. It's like, oh my God, like I don't know I could do this. Like, sure, you can, like at that point, it's like, sure, you can identify the concepts, this and that, figure out the function, whatever it is, but you don't have the skill of like they don't teach that, right? Of like
Yeah.
managing the paperwork, doing these different things. So it's so important what you're doing.
Yeah, it's learnable. All of this stuff is learnable. There's just nobody teaching it. So you've like, I have people all the time that are like, I can't be a BCBA because I'm not doing XYZ. And I'm like, you just need to learn XYZ and maybe being a BCBA will be 10 times easier. Or maybe you learn it and you realize you really don't like it. And that's okay too, but you don't know until you get your ducks in a row, kind of.
I mean, everyone talks about the burnout of our field. And this to me seems like, you know, we always talk about, you know, doing things antecedently is so much more effective as opposed to trying to deal when the behavior gets out of control, right? And this just seems like such an antecedent intervention to have these things set up from the get-go, which, I mean, it seems to me like what you're doing could actually be so beneficial to training the actual companies of like, hey, this is your,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you do that at all.
I've talked to companies about this in general of like, they don't, especially ones that aren't owned by BCBAs, they don't see how much it like can impact their bottom dollar or their success and their like ROI because they're like, they should just know how to do this. And I'm like, okay, well, do you know how to do this? Like, probably not. And there's so many if I could go into companies and just go fix all their stuff, I'm like, your onboarding is trash. Here's, I can tell you 15 ways to make it better right now. But a lot of times they just don't want to put in like the time to fix it. And I'm like,
And they don't see that it's actually costing them so much more. Like every time like they
yeah,
lose another BCBA or an RBT or I mean,
yeah. I'm like, what are your standards of practice? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, do you have like an operating procedure for how to do this? Like, where's your task analysis? And they're like, we don't have one. And I'm like, my heart dies a little bit every time I hear that.
she's so cool. I'll tell you, with the test prep I've done, I think what has appealed to so many people is that they're like, they like relate to the fact that I'm like, I have really bad ADHD. I really struggle. Like studying, focusing, organizing is really valuable. So, I mean, this is for all my fellow ADHD, ADD, neurodiverse brains out there. Any hacks that can actually work for us.
Don't try to make it what you see everybody else doing. I think that's like the biggest. I work with a lot of BCBAs who have ADHD. And because they're trying to almost force themselves into a neurotypical organization system, they're like, I need to have it look like this. Sometimes it's for the aesthetic. I find that super common with my ADHD BCBAs. They like the aesthetic, but the upkeep of it doesn't work for them. So they're like, I like what it looks like, so I have to make it work versus like meeting themselves with what actually does work. I had a client, we talked about like her squirrel brain where she would have her moments where she had like 10-minute attention span. That's all she could do. I'm like, cool. Instead of trying to force yourself into deep work, have a list of squirrel tasks. And when a squirrel day comes up, you pull up your squirrel task and that's what you do. Like nothing that's going to take a lot of brain power, little things. I'm like you're trying to force your ADHD to do something it's not able to do in that moment. All it's going to do is piss you off. So like I had another client that I worked with and she was like, paper is my thing. I do well with paper, but then I have thousands of papers all over my desk. I'm like, cool, let's just color coordinate. Let's just give you colored paper. Then if you're looking for this type of paper form, it's green. Like it doesn't have to be a whole ordeal. Just figure out how to add a little bit of like semblance of a system to what you're already doing instead of trying to throw out what you know works for you because it doesn't look right.
All right, I got some trivia for people studying for the exam right now. And Martha, because Martha, not a BCBA, an English major, who happens to sit next to me all day in the office when I'm teaching classes. She came to Collective One the other night. And all right, so Megan, seeing that this BCBA is having such a hard time with all the different tasks and all these different things, she's like, you know what? We don't need to have this color-coded system on Excel. Instead, we could use colored paper for your different tasks. Would you say that fits along more with parsimony or pragmatism? Martha,
We just went over this and I don't remember.
take a guess.
I'm going to say pragmatism.
Ding, ding, ding. She got it right. Did you remember this or no? No way. Okay. Pragmatism. Pragmatism is when we are using the most practical approach. Remember, parsimony is the simplest explanation of something when we're explaining like why something's happening, right? And look how pragmatic that was. Megan came in and she's like, okay, dude, we don't need I have tried changing myself for other people's systems too and realizing like it just doesn't work. I understand sometimes if you're in an organization, maybe they use like central reach and it's hard for you, got to figure out a way to make it work, right? But like your own personal systems, when you try to do it for other people, it's like even within my work, like I would try to be like, especially around a lot of BCBAs. I just want to put this out there. If you're someone with ADHD, you are working in a field of control freaks. People are in this field, a majority of them, because they're control freaks. They're controlling behavior. They're doing something they can't control. It's like there is a type, like a general type. So if you're a little out of that, it's like, oh my God, and you feel this like overwhelmed. Like, in fact, I'm someone who like loves that because I feel like I'm so out of order that like I'll take anyone who's like this like organized freak next to me. I am like, yeah, you take that. You take over that. Whereas I think a lot of BCBAs clash heads because they're all like, no, my system and like my organization system. So if I could say anything enough, and it's like I tried doing that even like with running my own business. And like there's certain things where like on the CEU front, I work with Jordan. Jordan is like I kind of organized that I can't even I don't even know how to like, and she's like, oh, it's easy. Like, hey, you know where our contract of whatever is? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, cell E9 folder of this. I'm like, I wouldn't even know where the folder is. Like, I don't think people realize that my brain doesn't work like that. Like, it actually, I don't know how to keep a Google Drive organized. Like, for me, like, I have such other talents, but like, I don't even know what to name a document that I'd be able to locate it again. Like that. Like, I'm like, what would I even call this that it would come up again? Like, I'm always amazed when Martha's like, oh yeah, that's located over here. But anyways, like, so working with Jordan, I'd be like so stressed before our meetings that like I wasn't even like enjoying working with her because I was like so stressed. She's gonna ask me where this is, and I don't want to show her that. Like, once again, I don't know anything, and I'm just like the lax partner on this, And then I like said something once, and I was like, look, anytime you want me to look at something, whether you've sent it to me 1,000 times, put it at the top of my inbox. And like Martha, before any episode knows, like she could have sent it to me 14 times, but like if it's at the top, I know where it is, and it's like just making those like pragmatic changes and like letting others know like this is what works for you, I think is so important because I too was like trying to keep up. Like there really is a general type of BCBA, like a certain personality type, and which is also I think part of the reason like the success of Study Notes ABA is that like there are the people out there who are like, I don't study like that. I don't do this like that. Like I need something else, And so if you need your way, it might be helping someone else as well. So don't be scared to do that. But I just want to put that out there that nothing is wrong if you're not doing things like other behavior analysts, just to say, because I really was stressing myself about that all the time. My next thing is this. There could be, okay, you need to learn this skill. It's like a skill deficit. You don't have the organization skills. But there also could be a point of like, you're at the wrong company. How do you know the difference between this is a you problem or this is a them problem?
Oh, and it a lot of times can come down to finding both. So I think to figure out if it's a you problem first, you need to look at like what are you doing, what have you tried? Because I remember being super stressed out at companies and I was like, they don't because that my brain is like that. Like if you give me a plan, I can execute. I can make a plan too, but I didn't think about that when I was new. I was just like peeved all the time that my companies didn't have plans. And I was like, God, it would be so much easier if they just did blah, 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 blah. And I just get mad and stew about the fact that no one was making it. And I'd ask about somebody making it. And then I was like, this is stupid. I should just make it myself. And not like take over the company and be like, everyone has to use this procedure. But I just started doing it for myself, just for myself, like just to make my own life easier. And I think that that's kind of the first step is like recognizing where things are falling off and where things are challenging because it's different for every single BCBA. Like what's going well, what's not going well, what has them feeling confident and what doesn't. So looking at like what those skills are and then breaking them down from there into like, cool, what's missing? Do I have a trigger for this? Like, do I have a system for it? Have I tried to make it better? Have I talked to anybody? Um, and sometimes you have to like troubleshoot on your own. And then when you've found like your personality, your organization, your style, and you know how to like implement it, sometimes once you get that point, you can like get yourself up above the water enough to breathe that you can look around and be like, oh, I'm drowning because there's literally no lifeboats out here. Like there's nobody to help me. And now that I'm at the top of the water, I can see that. That's when you know it's a company thing. But if you haven't gotten up above the water, and there maybe be 15 lifeboats out there, but you're like, nope, no one's coming to save me. You go and you go to the next trip and you do it all over again. That's when it's probably a you problem that you didn't know was happening first. You kind of have to address it as yourself, and then you can look at like, okay, is there extra help or is this a company I can work with? But if you try to just jump ship first, and you're like, huh, this has happened at 4 companies, it might be you.
You might be the common denominator.
Yeah.
1,000%. It kind of is like when we're working with a client and it's like you got to rule out medical first, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like rule out yourself first, like see if you could do these things, and then you could be like, okay, there's something else. Or, I mean, also asking yourself.
Nobody wants to be the problem.
Right. No one wants to be the
It's
problem.
like that. Is it me? Is it me? It's you. It's you, Jen. You're the person.
Right. And I mean, something to look at is like, okay, they're just straight up doing unethical shit. That's when it's time for you to like report and get out,
Yeah.
When they're having you bill shit you're not doing, things like that.
You can't fix that.
When you said this thing just now, I like think of like what I've had in the company a few times now. So like I am like super attracted, like in terms of people to work with people who are organized. Like anyone who could offer that to my life, I'm like done. Like right now, I'm like, how do I like get you in here to like come like organize all this? Like my brain is like immediate, right? So these people, let's say they come work with me at Snappa, and I love them. I'm obsessed, but I don't work like that, right? So actually,
Hmm.
sometimes it's frustrating for people like this, right? To be like, what is the structure here? Right. So
Hmm.
like you're saying you're in these companies and you're like, I don't want to like act like I'm taking it over, blah, blah, blah. And you know, but like, what is this file system? And the truth is, I'll tell you, just in case you're listening and you're that organized person and you work at a company, if it is being run by someone who maybe has a brain like me, please take that on. Get us organized. I will take whatever organization you want to offer. But I do know that like also, let's say there's someone, I'm assuming, I don't know you, Megan, but Megan like is running a company. She is organized AF, right? And then comes Isabella, who's also organized, and she starts remaking the systems. This could also create chaos. Like when you try to do it company wide, you're like, no, well, I want my RBTs doing it like this, and I want this.
Hmm.
So I think it's very important for people to like address, like look at who they're working with. Because like for you, you're like, I didn't want to like act like I'm like shaking things. I'm like, please. So like I remember it'd be issues, people being like Martha, I'm sure you know, like within the company, different people would be like, okay, Liat's kind of like showing up at different times, like this and that. Like we're kind of just like going with the flow of, and like for me, it's important to know when working with different people. Like to me, anything, like if you walked in our office, if I flew you in here tomorrow and you saw, you're like, dude, why is your printer located over there? Like that is just so not efficient. I'd be like, yes. Whereas like someone might get pissed off, like, excuse me, there's a lot of thought into this.
You have to know who you're talking to for sure. It makes a difference because some people want it to be fixed and other people are like, I like the chaos the way it is. Don't touch it.
Well,
And
if the
as,
chaos work, right?
yeah, yeah, I'm like, if there's a method to your madness, be a mad scientist. That's like, go for it. I don't care. And I think that that's a mistake people make when they start organizing. And I've talked to clients about this in the past. If the system works for you, you don't have to make it work for everybody. Like you don't have to be like, well, I found this and it's super successful. You'll get excited when you find something that saves you a lot of time and could make people's lives easier, but like you can't force them to use it. And I don't always even talk, like I wouldn't talk about it when I would make systems on my own, like when I worked for companies. Eventually, if it works and people like it, like word of mouth, it will just get around. And then I will share if people ask, but I never force anything on anybody. So I'm like, cool, if I use it and it works for me, awesome. Do I think every BCBA needs to use it? No. I think it might help them, but like they'll figure it out in their own time and eventually they full circle come back and they'll ask me questions and I'll be like, sure, I'll tell you about it.
See?
Amazing. I like want everything that she has. Like I don't even work in a clinic, but I want her like clinical binders or this or that.
I don't know everything that you have, but you can share everything with me. I'll make it work.
I love all of it.
I love it. I haven't seen it all, but I already love it.
What other questions can you think of, Isabella, that are like you would have wanted to know when you were calling me crying all the time? You were there more
Okay.
recently than me. That's why I'm asking.
There are two here. What's one system every BCBA needs ASAP?
Hmm. I feel like this is the question I get asked the most about, and it's notes. Like every BCBA, anytime I post anything about notes and like make fun of having late session notes, like the BCBAs just come out of the woodwork and they're like, "Oh my
Oh
God,
yeah,
that's me."
that's me,
Um,
by the way.
just notes are the worst. I hate notes. And I'm not going to be the person to be like my notes are always on time. They're not. Because sometimes I'm also like that's the least of the most important things on my to-do list right now. But a simple note system is like a game changer. But to start your note system, and this is where I think people go wrong, talk to whoever the heck you work for and let them tell you what a good note is. I had overly pristine notes for way too long that like I would spend so much time writing it up, doing all the things, making sure and they were like a novel. And I was like, oh, nobody else's notes look like this. And I was like, I'm wasting time. If they only want this little bit amount and it like checks all the boxes of what they need for insurance or whatever, that's what I'm going to make my system to. So I always tell everybody before you make your note template or you figure out your plan, ask them what they think a good note is, and that's your bar. Don't go above the bar because it's a waste of time. Like set your bar. It doesn't need to be A plus work. If like passing for them is a D, you get that D. That sounds bad, but like
Yeah, you get that D.
No, it
Put
sounds
that as a reel.
actually,
We'll add that in as a reel.
it does not sound bad. It's, at least to me, it's better to have them done
yeah,
than
Well, not
to
only
not
have
have
it
it
done, it's
done
like
at all. You
right,
know?
and you're looking
work
at
smarter, not
you're
harder.
like I could actually be like in the session doing like BST or something, as opposed to like writing English novels that you could
Hmm.
use to apply to get into university.
Yeah, I'm like, know what you need, jot it down as you go. You don't have to be the like computer BCBA, but like have something up. If your notes are typed, don't write them because then you're gonna have to transcribe everything or write everything you just transcribed, which is double the work because you've written it once. I'm like, just know what you need, jot it down as you go, and then wrap it up at the end so that you don't have to take it with you. And if you, for whatever reason, like I know life happens, Jimmy just threw a shoe over here and 14 kids just like had a meltdown in the gym. Like that happens. You can't control those things, but all your prep work is done. So then it takes 2 seconds to copy your system over into whatever your platform is. And it makes life easier, it makes the response effort so much easier. And I'm like, then when you have to catch up on two notes, it takes you 2 minutes, not 45.
That's gold. Anyone listening, like rewind back to that. Everything she said. I mean, all of this is gold. So that just leads me to one last question. I know we need to wrap up for time. AI, Chat GPT, like obsessed. It is so cool. I mean, the things you could do, you can make like it write full songs for you. I mean, no, I'm kidding. I mean, it literally told me, it roasted me so accurately. I mean, Chat GPT is absolutely wild. Can this help with our efficiency at all? AI.
I firmly believe so. I am a chat GPT junkie. For anybody who doesn't know me, if you're in my programs and you guys are listening to this, you know because I talk about chat GPT on a regular basis. I treat chat GPT because I work from home. I work by myself for my business and I work from home when I do part-time clients. So I don't work with anybody. Chat GPT is my best friend. I'm like, hey girl, what's up? Let's help me do this. So it's my brainstorm tool.
Oh, yours is a
It's
girl?
my well, I call it a girl, and it's picked up my tone. So like I'll write stuff and I'll be like, make sure it sounds like me. That doesn't sound like me. Like my BCBA bestie voice is what I tell it, and it'll talk to me back and be like, that's fire. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Thanks, girl. And like we have
See?
conversations,
I
and
I
it's the
know.
best.
It is crazy.
It's reinforcing for sure. So I think I'm not super deep into like
I mean, you could
the
train it. You could
HIPAA
train
stuff
it
with
through
it. Oh
punishment
yeah.
and reinforcement. Like, yeah, I like more of that, less of that. I mean,
Yeah, I'm like, you missed the mark.
I know. And they're like, oh, I'm bummed.
They're like, okay, let's try again. I'm like, much better. I appreciate that. That was gold. And it's like, yes.
Totally. And I use like differential reinforcement. Like when it's like really good, I'm like, oh my God, yes. And like, like they make
Yeah.
bigger for like better responses.
Our chat GPT should be best friends, right? And learn from
Totally.
each other.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And
There's so much you can do with it that like I've used it to help prioritize my schedule when my brain is just like fried. I'll be like, cool, here's what I've got coming up. Here's what's on my list. What makes sense to do in what order for BCBAs that have a really hard time with prioritization. It can be great for that. I'll use it for like, help me think of 10 things that a 5-year-old would really like whose interests are this. And like, it's just nice to bounce ideas off of. And it gives suggestions and then it gives me ideas that like spark other things. I don't know like the nuances of like what it can and can't do when it comes to like HIPAA stuff. So like we talked about this in one of the programs I ran about like can you use it for notes? And I was like, I don't know the rules, so like look it up and like go from there. I'm like, but as long as you've got no client info and like you've taken your bullet points, I'll be like, cool, can you make these like full sentences for me? Um, and I'll like edit it from there. I think it's super helpful. I know some people really hate it and they're like, it's taking out so like individuality or it's taking out people like doing the work. And I'm like, are you mad because a computer did the work or are you mad because you haven't figured out how to get a computer to do your work?
I think the other way around. Sometimes it gives you ideas that you did not help. Oh, you did not have, sorry. You did not have this idea. You did not try this. Yeah, sometimes
Also,
maybe.
though, I want to say, as someone with ADHD, it could also be a dangerous distractor. Like, it starts doing such good answers that I'm like, oh my God, I could also do this. And then I'm like, I literally am like making songs when I was trying to like make a new mock, like to edit
You should
my.
tell your chat GPT to like not let you go off on tangents and be like, if I start talking about this too much, redirect me and like see if it works.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll do that. It's funny that you refer to your chat GPT as a girl. Like, I just always like, oh, like I assumed like it was a guy, but like I don't know why, because obviously girls are smarter and like chat GPT knows everything. It makes so much sense to chat GPT as a girl. Just like, duh, you know?
I feel like my chat GPT is like 29 and she's super chill and she's so much more easygoing than I am. But like I take her out for coffee.
That's amazing.
And enjoy it.
Amazing. All right. Well, Megan, thank you so much for coming on. And can you tell everyone where they can find you?
Yeah, you can connect with me. I'm on Instagram at the Organized Analyst. That's usually probably the best place. I like to chat with people there, so feel free to slide into my DMs. And if you've been around a little while, I've already probably slid into yours and like gotten to know who you are because I hate, and you guys probably experienced this too with like Snabba and with the podcast of feeling like there's nobody real on the other side and like getting to have conversations makes it feel like legit, like there's actual real people out there that you're talking to. So always message me there, or you can find my website at theorganizedanalyst.com. It's got tons of like organizers, resources, workshops on there. And yeah, I've got some coaching programs. I do consult and mentorship for BCBAs who are like, I just really need help with this problem. So lots of ways to connect and get in touch.
Amazing. Definitely reach out, everyone. Megan, again, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, of course, thank you guys both for having me. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I enjoy my time here too. Thank you.
You got your personal interview, right?
You see, I got almost all my questions
I love
answered.
it. I
love
love
it
it.
too.
All right, guys, you know where to find us. You could find us on behaviorbitches.com. Send in what topics you want, a guest you want us to have on. If you are in touch with a guest who's like, you need to have them on, please. We love it. That's at behaviorbitches.com. You could find us on Instagram at Behavior Bitches Podcast, Facebook at Behavior Bitches Podcast, TikTok. What do you think it is, Isabella?
Behavior Bitches Podcast.
You're so smart. Good.
YouTube. Behavior Bitches Podcast.
Yes. And everyone click the
Link.
subscribe. I'm doing interverbals. Hit the subscribe button on Behavior Bitches Podcast YouTube. We are really trying to grow it. And I told you, I have to do my makeup for these shows now. So please make it worth my time. Thank you. And that's all we have for you today. So as always, love ya.
Mean it.
It's behavior, bitches.